Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome and thanks for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that is incredibly important and something that you can use right away to improve your blues solos. I will admit, however, that this is a little bit nebulous in the sense that I'm going to describe something and how it works, and I'm going to kind of point you down the right direction, but it's not like I have a lick that I'm just going to hand you. It wouldn't really make any sense, wouldn't really get the point across, and wouldn't be very useful to you in the long run. So I'd like to throw that out there because it is going to take a few minutes to get through this, and if you're looking for a video that's just going to be like, here's a cool lick, off you go, this is not that video. That being said, I think it's vitally important, so I hope you'll pay attention and follow along with me. Okay, now, what I have in the old looper is just a basic blues in A, all right? Nothing fancy, just, playing blues in A, and I recorded it. Okay, so that's all it is. I kept it nice and slow so that you can kind of get the feel for what I'm going to demonstrate here. Now, I'm going to throw that on, and let me show you how this would kind of sound, I'll say if one of my beginning students were doing it. And I'm just going to use good old A minor box 1. Right? You probably know this pattern, minor pentatonic scale, but the pattern doesn't matter. 3, 4, Okay, so one of the things that I want you to notice is the tendency to start on beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, you don't want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but it's a very, very natural, common tendency. We are used to sort of listening for that downbeat. If you've never heard me talk about, stay off beat 1, what I mean is if you start a lick on beat 1, it tends to have sort of a heavy sound. It's very difficult to describe. It's easier to tell you that almost every lick you'll ever learn will not start on beat 1. I'm not saying that there aren't any out there, but it's an important concept, okay? So I can immediately make my licks sound better simply by not starting on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it doesn't have to be beat 2, it doesn't have to be beat 3, it can be any of them. It just shouldn't be beat 1. And that's not to say that you can't play on beat 1, just don't start there, okay? If you want to think back traditional call and response, the call is on beat 1. I think that's kind of the reason. I think that's just carried through over the decades and the generations. I think our ear just is more comfortable hearing the call on beat 1 from the band, the chord change, whatever you want to call it, and we answer it, okay? We respond with our lick. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. Here's the other thing, and again, I'll show you, I'll say from a beginner's perspective, 3, 4, 1, 2, It helps if I turn it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so notice that I played everything in the same feel, the same groove as the track. Right, the track, or my loop, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I play in that same groove all the time, we're all saying the same thing at the same time. Okay, the band never really has a chance to get through. I never have a chance to get on top. It sort of all blends together. Throw in, right, those are called swing eighth notes. Throw in a quarter note. Okay, where you hold a note for an entire beat. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, or a half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one of the concepts that I often talk about is the big bend. You'll hear me talk about this a lot. And what I mean by that is some note that I bend and I hold it for like 2 beats. Okay, so I'll do a big bend, which is a note that I hold for a couple of beats, and then I'll play some eighth notes. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So you hear that I'm going from that long note back into the bouncing eighths, so the swing eighths. Okay, so but I'm mixing things up. Even better is to mix it up even more. So maybe I have the long bend or a long held note, some short notes, another long note, some more short notes. Something along these lines. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, again, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've got a little bit of both. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm kind of mixing things up. It's incredibly vital that you mix up the rhythms. If you play all eighth notes, or you play all quarter notes, or all half notes, if you play all of anything, it's gonna get dull. Okay, if you look at almost any lick that you learn that comes from somebody great, right? A Stevie Ray Vaughan lick, a B.B. King lick, an Albert King lick. There's so many. I don't even want to begin naming enough guitar players, but you get the idea. Many, 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 many of them will have variety. Okay, now the variety might be something like triplets. Right? Or some right? So I might have some triplets in there to go along with quarter notes, eighth notes, right? I can blend all of these things together. That's what makes the cool sound. There's one last thing, and this to me is the most important and the thing that will sound the absolute best. And if you can get the hang of this, you don't have to learn anything new. You can do this with something as small as my little 4-note solo pattern. If you've never learned or done the 4-note solo, I highly encourage that you do that. I'll leave a link near this video. It's a little free class that I teach via email. Highly encourage you to check that out. Again, I'll put a link near this video. But even if that's the only pattern you know, you can sound really great if you use what's called syncopation. So what is syncopation? We have, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, well, when you count the 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch my hand, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we call the down beats. Often the downbeat of the measure is beat 1, but the downbeats in general, 1, 2, 3, 4. The upbeats, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You can probably guess that the upbeats or the offbeats are those Okay, so syncopation means that we are going to play those upbeats and not play either by virtue of we're going to hold the note or we're going to have a rest or something, and we're going to accent more upbeats and less downbeats. Okay, I know that might sound kind of tricky, kind of weird. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's take a simple line. 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, I'm just playing down the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so by striking on 1, 2, and then I held it through 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I struck on the of 2, I didn't strike on 3, so I'm creating syncopation. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right? I mean, I could play an entire solo of that, but it's gonna be too much, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, just like anything else, if you do it all the time, it gets to be too much. You can't do anything all the time. But if I throw it in with some quarter notes, maybe my big bend, right? Maybe I do my big bend, but I start on an I start on the off beat, right? It gives me something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? So when I have those 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm ending on up beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that last note again was on an off beat. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So there I used a little of both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. I'm just making this up, right? I'm just kind of mixing and matching. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that little stab, that little end, right? That last note on the offbeat can create a little bit of syncopation. So you can create it at the beginning, maybe a little dab in the middle, a little bit at the end. Syncopation is where it is at. There are so many great things. And notice that I don't have to play fast. And I know that can be a real challenge. A lot of people struggle with playing faster. And admittedly, you can improve your speed. I have courses available for that. If that's something that you worry about, I have videos for that. I have courses for that. Building speed is all about your ear. It's all about counting and subdividing. It has usually very little to do with your fingers. It's a topic for another day, but nonetheless, I want to point it out. So, main things here for you, for practicing, for going forward. Start not on beat 1, okay? Start on, the best thing is an right? An off beat. Now, if we were playing in a straight feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, same thing applies. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, okay? And counts as the off beat if we're in a straight feel. Now, so again, work on starting your lick on the or the and, depending on whether it's a straight or a swing feel, not on beat 1. Start with that big bend or with some big note, maybe a double stop pair, right? any of those cool tricks that you know, use those. And I have other videos for the tricks themselves, so I don't want to get too carried away down any one rabbit hole today. But start out with something cool like that, whether it be a bend, whether it be a single note, whether it be a double stop, it doesn't matter. Start it on like an and or an hold it for a little while, give it a beat or two, dabble in a few eighth notes, hold something else, dabble a few eighth notes, try to end again on that off beat. It's a great little formula for coming up with lines that make sense and sound cool without having to actually, learn a lick. A lot of times we just sort of play the scale. We just want to kind of hear how things sound. If you keep those things in mind and you know where you're at as you're playing the scale, you can make it come out really, really well. Okay, so hope you dig that. I hope you'll try it out. And of course, if you have guitar playing friends that you think would dig it, I hope you will share this video with them. As always, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Feel free to check out, I'll leave links near this video again for that 4-note solo course, my How to Jam guidebook. Both of those are absolutely free. You can check them out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.